You think you are running your own life. But the reality is, certain chemicals inside your body decide every day how you will think, how you will feel, and how you will make decisions. When you will feel lazy, when you will feel fear, when you will start something and then stop halfway. Many times, the control of these things is not in your hands. It is in the hands of your hormones. That is why you have seen the same person look strong and confident one day and completely broken the next day. The person who learns to control their hormones learns to control their mind. And the person who can control their mind gradually changes their entire life. Today, you are going to hear some things that people usually do not say openly. If you do not listen to this video until the end, you will never fully understand what your brain is actually doing to you every single day. You are watching Radiant Update. You may have thought many times that you are trying, but the results are not coming. You are working hard, but you cannot sustain your energy. You know what needs to be done, yet you keep getting stuck in the same place again and again. The reason is not that your willpower is weak. Your intelligence is not weak either. The real cause is hidden inside your body. Your body releases certain chemicals every day that decide whether you will stay focused or distracted, confident or doubtful, whether you will begin the work or postpone it again by saying, "I'll do it tomorrow." These chemicals are what we call hormones, and these hormones silently shape the direction of your entire life. When you wake up in the morning and feel slightly tired, it is not only because you slept less. At that moment, your cortisol and dopamine balance is not right. When you repeatedly lean toward short-term pleasure, scroll on your phone, or watch unnecessary videos, that is not a weakness of character. Your brain is simply looking for easy dopamine. That is why you will see that you know many things, but cannot do them. You dream big, but cannot move forward. Again and again, life tells you, the problem is not in your desire. The problem is in your system. A person who does not understand this system of body and brain spends their whole life blaming themselves. They think they are lazy, not good enough, not capable like others. But the truth is, that person never learned how to make their hormones work in their favor. The day your dopamine is wasted in the wrong places, that day you avoid important work. The day your cortisol goes out of control, that day you cannot make decisions because of fear. And the day your serotonin and testosterone are balanced, you are surprised to see that you finally trust yourself. This book teaches us an important truth. First, understand your body, then control your mind, and only after that will the external changes you need in life begin to appear. Society always teaches you external things. Work more, try harder, take more pressure. But no one teaches you how to reduce pressure, how to calm the brain, how to preserve your energy. That is why Time's Call says these things. Because if you do not know them, then no matter how hard you work, you will slowly become exhausted from the inside. If you notice, the people who are truly strong are not always running. They know when to stop, when to rest, when to take pressure, and when to let go. They do not fight against hormones. They use them. That difference is what creates the gap between ordinary people and strong people. When you begin to understand this, many questions in your life start becoming clear on their own. You may have noticed that sometimes you suddenly become very enthusiastic. It feels like now you are going to change everything. But within a few days, that fire goes out. Then you ask yourself, am I really weak? Or is there something wrong inside me? The truth is, these ups and downs are not a flaw in your character. They are fluctuations in your hormones. Your body does not stay in the same state all the time. And as it changes, your thoughts, feelings, and decisions change with it. When you stay in uncertainty for a long time, your cortisol gradually rises. Even if you look normal from the outside, inside your brain is constantly receiving signals of danger. In this state, you become afraid to make big decisions. You avoid risk, and you keep yourself trapped in easy tasks. You think you are being realistic, but in truth, you are being driven by fear. Times Call wants you to understand this. Fear is not always the result of truth. Many times, it is the effect of hormones. Then comes another big trap: excessive dopamine. When you keep drowning in small pleasures again and again, your brain gradually moves away from difficult work, reading books, deep thinking, working on yourself. These things begin to feel heavy because your brain has become used to easy rewards. In this state, no matter how much you force yourself, your mind will keep looking for ways to escape. This is not your weakness. This is the result of how your brain has been trained. That is why this book says something very important. You do not control the brain by punishing it. You control it by understanding it. If you slowly improve your daily habits, your sleep, your food, and your way of thinking, then gradually your hormonal system also begins to work in your favor. Then you will see that the things which once felt impossible are now gradually becoming normal. This change does not come in one day. When it comes from within. If you look at your life, you will see that most people seek outer motivation. They want new videos, new words, new inspiration. But real strength comes from inner stability. The person who can keep themselves stable inside does not collapse, no matter what is happening outside. Times Call keeps reminding you of this. If you are not strong from within, then all outside success will last only a very short time. This summary slowly teaches you one thing: you are not the enemy of your life. Your body is not your enemy either. The enemy is ignorance. The more you understand how your body and brain work, the less you will blame yourself, and the more you will be able to build yourself. This understanding alone can become the biggest turning point of your life. If you observe a little more deeply, you will see that the biggest changes in life do not come suddenly. They come slowly, silently. You may think that one day you will wake up completely transformed. But in reality, change comes only when your daily habits begin to align with your body. Your body's like a machine. It responds according to how you operate it. If you keep yourself under pressure all day, your body will answer you with pressure too. Many people think they are mentally weak, but they do not understand that long accumulated fatigue and uncertainty are silently draining their inner strength. When you do not rest, when you do not make time for yourself, your brain can never work at full power. In this state, no matter how much you try, your mind will keep returning to old habits. This is not failure. This is your body's natural response. This book brings an important truth to the surface. If you want to sustain your energy over a long period of time, you have to fix the rhythm of your life. When you will work, when you will stop, when you will push yourself, and when you will let go. Without this balance, your hormones will never stay stable. And if your hormones are not stable, your mind will not be stable either. That is why you will see that the people who are calm are the ones who can remain strong for a long time. When you begin to take control of your life, at first you do not see results. You think nothing is changing. But inside, your system slowly begins to reset. Your sleep gets a little better, your thoughts become a little clearer, and your decisions begin to come with less fear and more clarity than before. These small changes are what one day create a big difference. This is where Times Call reminds you of something. Changing yourself does not mean breaking yourself. It means understanding yourself. The more you understand the language of your body and mind, the less you will fight with yourself. And the day you stop fighting yourself, that is the day your energy stops being wasted. Maybe until now you thought you needed to become harder on yourself, to push yourself more. But this summary shows you that real strength does not come from harshness. It comes from harmony. When you learn to move in rhythm with your own life, your inner abilities naturally begin to carry you forward. This realization can gradually change the way you look at your life. If you look honestly at your life, you will see that you do not always identify the root of the problem. Because most of the time, you think about results, not process. You ask, why am I not as focused as before? Why does my interest fade so quickly? Why do I still not do the work even after knowing what I should do? But very rarely do you think about what kind of pressure has been building on your body and mind day after day. This pressure cannot be seen with the eyes, but it slowly eats away at your decision-making ability, patience, and confidence. When you remain in uncertainty for a long time, your body interprets it as danger. Even if everything looks fine on the outside, inside, your brain stays in a constant state of alert. In that condition, you naturally avoid risk. You delay big decisions, and you choose a life much smaller than your real capacity. You think you are being practical, but in reality, you are unknowingly making peace with fear. Time's call stops you right there, because if you make peace with fear, life never moves forward. Then comes the quietest damage of all, losing faith in yourself. When you keep losing to yourself again and again, you do not blame anyone outside. You silently begin to make yourself smaller. You think, I cannot do it. This is just who I am. My fate is like this. But these thoughts are not born from your experience. They are born from your long-term mental exhaustion. A tired brain always speaks against you. A strong brain looks for arguments in your favor. This book slowly brings you face to face with the truth. Until you understand the source of your strength, you will keep fighting in the wrong place. You will blame your willpower. You will blame your character. But you will never realize that your body is actually asking for help. Sleep, rest, emotional safety, and time for yourself. These are not luxuries. These are the foundation of your strength. If this foundation is weak, then every dream standing on top of it becomes weak as well. You may have seen some people who can handle impossible pressure while staying very calm. They do not shout, they do not create noise, but they do not collapse either, because they know when to pull themselves and when to release themselves. They do not see their body as an enemy. They see it as a companion. This perspective is what makes people different from the inside. That is why Time's Call keeps saying, being strong does not mean being emotionless. Being strong means understanding your emotions. If you want to change your life in the long term, you do not need a sudden revolution. You need to make very small decisions in your own favor every day. Sleeping a little earlier today. Not getting unnecessarily angry at yourself today. Removing yourself from unnecessary comparison today. These small decisions gradually send signals of safety to your body. And when the body feels safe, that is when it gives you energy, courage, and stability. This summary makes one thing very clear. Until you listen to the voices inside you, you will remain lost in the noise outside. Society will always tell you to run faster, but very few people will teach you how to stand still. And the person who knows how to stand still is the one who can run at the right time. This understanding gradually takes you to a place where you stop fighting yourself and start working with yourself. What you have heard so far is not motivational talk. It is a mirror of reality. If today you pause for a moment and try to understand your inner condition, you will see that the problem was not your capability. The problem was the process that had been running without your awareness. As long as you keep pressuring yourself without understanding yourself, you will keep moving in circles in the same place. But the day you start understanding the language of your body and mind, from that day, your life will slowly begin to come under your control. The core message of this summary is only this: you are not weak. You were simply fighting in the wrong place all this time. Strength does not come from shouting. Strength comes from stillness. And stillness comes only when you learn to be honest with yourself. If these words have shaken something inside you even a little today, then understand that you have come to the right place. Radiant Update does not just talk. Radiant Update changes the way you think. And if these thoughts have been useful to you, then give this video a strong like right now. Write your thoughts in the comments and share this video with that person who is silently fighting within themselves. For more deep, real, and eye-opening content like this, subscribe to the Radiant Update channel right now, because what is coming next is not just another video. It will be a whole hype. If you want to be part of this journey, if you truly want to understand your life, then stay with Radiant Update. The hype starts right here.